So I'm actually really glad that Brittany commented, because a lot of my trauma recently has been resurfacing from Maine, the state. So for people that don't know, I was born in Maine and I was raised in Connecticut. But I also bounced back from Maine because I had family in Maine. Anyways, when I was about 4 years old, I lived in an apartment complex, and it looks very, very similar to the one I live in now, except I'm down south. So some people, I'm sure you don't know, Maine is a very white state. It's, for me, when I lived there, it was a very racist state. It was a lot of hillbilly vibes, like really country, but like Boston country, not like South country. And so the Southern people are very much different. It's like complete opposite almost. Everything looks the same, but like it's completely different. So this apartment complex that we live in is very small. A lot of people, everyone know each other. Like they've been here 20 plus years. The maintenance dude has been here 20 plus years. He likes to run the complex like he owns it, even though he's just the maintenance man. And he has no licenses and stuff like that. Mind you, I'm also from Connecticut, so like... Anyways, this apartment complex reminds me a lot of the one I lived in when I was about 4. The walls are very thin. Everyone knows each other. The only difference is when you walk outside, it's grass and it's a big field. In Maine, when you walked outside, it was like concrete and it was just like a driveway type of vibe. So my stepdad really used to trauma dump onto us, and he used to get drunk and just tell us random stories that could or could not be true. The stories would range from racism, rape, murder, violence. Like he would just say the randomest shit. I remember one story he told us was that he saw an Asian couple kissing, and so he just ran over and punched them. Still don't know to this day if that was true. He also had a first love. Her name was Gina Barone. I don't know if I'm supposed to be name dropping, but fuck it. She was murdered by a New York serial killer. And that one really fucked me up. Because for a long time, I thought maybe my dad was a serial killer and he just like framed the dude in New York. But I don't fucking know. Think cult. I was really raised like I was raised in a cult. So think cult. Anyway, so recently I was on Zoloft 100 milligrams. I told my doctor, I was like, listen, I'm not depressed anymore. I feel good, but like I'm getting jittery. I'm not like concentrating well. I think I need a new medicine, or like an add-on medicine. And they said, nah, sis, we just gonna up your Zoloft to 150. Wrong choice. Anyway, so my serotonin really skyrocketed and it sent me into a hypomanic or completely manic bipolar episode. One of the stories my dad used to tell me was that he was involved in the mafia and that he snitched on someone in the mafia. That's why he ran from New York to Maine, then Connecticut with us. Also, another thing is every time we moved, we were running from something or someone. So that's another thing to keep in the back of your mind. So he used to tell us that the mafia would send him messages by like sending him dead fish in a container and being like, oh, you're going to sleep with the fishes, like we're after you. My dad was a very, 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 very paranoid man. Mind you, he actually did snitch on somebody in New York, and that's why he was actually paranoid. The guy got 20 years and he got off scot-free. So there was reason for his paranoia. And he would have like code words, like if anyone were to knock on the door, like, what do you say? Bunch of shit. He used to make me remember 44 Baker Street, apartment C, just in case I ever got knocked out, and it was our code word. We had a lot of code words. So since being here and the maintenance guy, he really reminded me a lot of like Maine hillbillies and like the not so great guys from Maine, like my uncles, some of my uncles, not all of them. Anyways, so the South has really big bugs, and flying roaches is one of them. I know house roaches. I know nigger roaches. The ones that you turn the lights on and they just scurry away. Yeah, I'm used to those roaches. I'm from the hood. I'm used to the hood roaches. I'm not used to these big ass South Carolina palmetto bug ass roaches. No, I'm not. So this complex is pretty run down too. So the pest control wasn't coming regularly like they should. So I just decided to use Raid and raided all the windows and all that inside and out and all the doors, all the linings of where ants or palmetto bugs can come in. So after I did that, like a day later, there was some doll hairs from my girl's doll and a dead roach in the front of my front door. Mind you, we really don't use our front door. We use our back door because as soon as you leave out the back door, it's a big ass field. And our car is right there. So we really don't need to use the front, and then you have to go up the stairs, whatever. So I was cleaning the house, and I went to clean the hallway of our front door because the doll hairs was out there. It must have fallen from the trash. But this time, there was a big-ass dead roach. My man brought me some food. So at this point, I'm kind of confusing past, present, and future. I don't really know how to explain it, but I couldn't tell what was real and what was fake. I just deadass had delusions, for real. So when I saw this dead roach in front of and it was on its back, I was like, oh, somebody's trying to send me a message. I need to clean this up now. So I remember cleaning it up, sweeping it up, putting it in a bag, and then getting my dog Bruce, because I take him everywhere. That's my motherfucking emotional support animal. I do not play, and he do not play about me. So I went and I brought the trash to the dumpster, and I dumped it out, or not dumped it out, but I threw it in the dumpster, and then we came back home. Literally the next fucking day, that same fucking roach in the same fucking position with the same fucking doll hairs. I swear I thought I cleaned it up. But no, it was in front of the door again. So I'm like, oh, y'all sending me messages. I'm like, these walls are thin. I'm like, there's someone's sending me a message. What does this message mean? So the more I saw that dead roach, I got so fucking freaked out. I didn't even clean it up. I was so freaked out. My man had to clean it up for me. And then I was like, he cleaned it up. Maybe he did it. He's trying to drive me crazy. He's trying to brainwash me. He's trying to be like my dad did. Anyways. Then my man convinced me. He's like, why would I brainwash you? Like, what is the point? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Maybe it's this complex. Maybe the complex is listening to my delusions, my paranoia. Maybe because the walls are so thin, they can hear everything. They're setting this up. They want me to go crazy. And so I have some trauma around complexes because another complex that my grandmother lived in, I got kidnapped from. It was the man who lived across, like, this is one door, this is the other door. I was coming in, and then the man, my real dad, snatched me up as I was trying to go into my grandmother's door, snatched me up and shut the door and, like, locked me in there until a taxi came. So now I open the door and I see that's kind of how our apartments are set up now. So we have our door here, and then there's a door over here, and that's somebody who lives there. Mind you, they never use their front door either. They use their back door. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, my real dad is living there. Either my real dad or my stepdad. One of them lived there, and they're going to kidnap me. They're waiting to kidnap me or my girls. This is unsafe. And then the maintenance dude was just too much for me. So all of this trauma coming forward and trying to go backwards. Mind you, I took shrooms. Not recently, but I took shrooms months ago, and it kind of unlocked a lot of trauma that I had blocked out. Anyways, all of this was mixing and blending, and I was so confused on what was real and what was fake. I literally called the cops on myself twice before I admitted myself into the mental hospital, and I had my therapist and my friends and my family to support me through it. If it wasn't for them bridging the gaps that I could not bridge, I really appreciate them. I had to have my blue Gatorade because it represented my older chosen brother. I had to have silk because it just made me feel good. I brought some fruit that reminded me of my man because my man always keeps me healthy and safe and sane. Anyways, I needed a lot of support, and then I committed myself into the mental institution because it was scary. Like, deadass, all jokes aside, it was fucking scary to not know what was real, what was in front of me, what was behind me, what was in the past, what was in the future, what was in the present. Mind you, not what was in the future, like I can see the future, but what I dreamed for the future, because I've never dreamed for a future for myself. So being a suicidal teenager, kid, all of it, like my whole life, I never thought I would see a day to where I would plan a future, because I really thought I would be dead by now. I really did. So not being suicidal anymore and wanting to have goals for myself and wanting to see the future for myself, it really fucked me up. And big fuck you to my dad for fucking brainwashing me into a cult mindset that I literally could not differentiate real and fake. And that's a story on how I ended up in the mental hospital.